Hey guys, welcome to another Checkerboard Chat this week. Emotions are a little bit different this week as they were last week. Things have changed.
I don't know why our emotions would be different.
Well, nah, they're not. I could care less. We're both kind of aggravated. Men's basketball has You're not aggravated?
No, I
You're
really...
the one who made the trip to South Carolina.
Yeah, I really don't care, though. I mean,
that is true. This is Trenton, Duffer, and that's Rob Harvey, by the way, in case you still don't know our names after the 50th Checkerboard Chat of the year. Just a quick recap of last week's games. They lost to Vanderbilt. Men's basketball lost to Vanderbilt.
Scored 55 points, something like that.
Somewhere around there. I think it was 67-55 or something like that. So just a rough loss all in all. And then they go to South Carolina, and you expect them not to put up too many points, but they put up 55, wasn't
52.
it? 52.
I think.
God.
Yeah, I don't know. I stopped paying attention with like 10 minutes left in the game. There was no need.
Yeah.
No need.
Yeah, Rob actually made the trip to South Carolina, and it wasn't fun from what I gathered.
I mean, it was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a cool little arena.
Yeah, didn't you say they had to with your food, you had to go?
Yeah, the food was weird. They didn't really have food for media. You had to go all the way across the whole arena. I didn't do it, but some people took 25 minutes to get food, so I was not about to do that.
Yeah, it's different from UT's, like Thompson Bowling Arena. It's you just go backstage and they've got just tables of food set up for you, or a table of food set up for you, and it's nice. It's nice, especially when you get that sweet peas.
They had that today.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it was great.
It sounds great.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was just they. I mean, they stayed in it obviously because it was 38-34, a little ways into the second half. But I mean, then just kind of a couple turnovers, a couple threes from South Carolina, and they just kind of shut down. They just didn't know what to do. I mean, South Carolina's defense is really stinking good, and South Carolina was hitting a bunch of threes. But I don't know. It's just. I think Grant Williams played 15 minutes in the second half and had zero. He took one shot and had one rebound. So that's obviously not going to. That's not going to win you any games. They turned the ball over a bunch. Jordan Bone only played 10 minutes. Lamonte was bad. They combined. They started Lamonte and Quay, and I think they combined for 7 points, which all came from Lamonte, and 5 turnovers, which. That's not going to win you any games either from your point guards and starting shooting guards. So, I mean, I don't know. It just wasn't – it was just a bad game. You can tell the freshmen are just kind of – I think the freshmen are done. Oh, yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, they're not going to make it to the tournament unless they make the finals of the SEC championship, which I don't think they will. They're not going to make the tournament. They'll make the NIT. They'll host a game. But, I mean, which is all you can expect from this team, really. You can't really expect them – coming into the season, and I mean, I expect them to be pretty good, but not a lot of people did. So, I don't know. It's just I think the freshmen have hit the wall. I think they just can't really find a way to score. Not having Bowden hurt since he's been out, but because they can't spread the floor as much. But I don't know, just hasn't been good. Yeah, they've struggled for sure. I mean, you said making the NIT. I mean, that's not even a given at this point. I mean, they'll make the NIT.
Well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still think
if they're the first team on the next 4 out, they're going to make the NIT.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I don't know. Last year, I think there were 17 at-large teams. I think last year.
Yeah, but last year's field was a whole lot better than this year's field.
That is true. I think there were only 3 18-win teams in the field last year. Tennessee's sitting at 15 wins, but. I think they can get more than 18.
They'll make the NIT because there's going to be some teams this year in the NCAA tournament with 19 wins. So
yeah, that is true. Yeah, I could see both sides of that argument, but I don't know. They don't need to I think if they lose one of these regular season games, I think it'll be tougher though.
I mean, I still think they'll make it, but I think unless they go. I mean, I don't know. I still think they make it no matter what. Because I guess they'd finish under 500 if they lose 2 games here if they beat LSU and lose Alabama and lose the first round of the SEC tournament. Yeah. But I don't know. I think they'll put up a fight in the SEC tournament. They usually do. Yeah. So
Yeah, last year as that 12 seed, they beat Vanderbilt. It was a 5 seed.
And then they were a 10 seed and beat Vanderbilt 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then they won 2 games last year because they were in the play-in game.
Mm-hmm.
Then they beat Vanderbilt, and 2 years ago they beat Vanderbilt and almost beat Arkansas. And last year they almost beat LSU. So I mean, I don't know. I think they usually do well in the tournament, so I think they'll win a game. The way it is right now, though, if they win a game, they have to play Kentucky. So that's not going. They play Georgia, which J.J. Frazier should be SEC Player of the Year. He won't be, but he should be. He should. They play them, which is obviously no easy feat since they lost to him.
Yeah.
But if they win, then they got Kentucky, which I don't know. That'll be interesting. I mean, I think the last time they played Kentucky in the SEC tournament was in like 2009 or something. They got beat by 40 points. So, I don't know. We'll see. Who knows what Kentucky team will show up though? But they have to get there first, and they have to maintain the 9 seed. Yeah,
that's true. And you mentioned Frazier, just how he's been just so instrumental to that Georgia offense all year.
I mean, Georgia's not good though.
Yeah,
I mean
they're but I mean
they've won like 6 conference games, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very good.
Yeah, he's but without him though, they would be.
Oh yeah, without him they would
be trash.
Yeah,
I mean, kind of like LSU and Ben Simmons last year, like we're seeing now.
Yeah, Ben Simmons wasn't good. I mean, they didn't make the tournament. They didn't do anything. Ben Simmons should have. Don't get me started on that team. That team was so poorly coached; it wasn't even funny.
Well, just they were a better team.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with that. But he, I mean, I don't know how much he honestly did to that, just because of how much of a ball hog he is. Yeah,
he's with your Sixers now.
Yeah, no, I'm not happy about it. But
but yeah, so Frazier he's played great just all year. Like you said, he should be SEC Player of the Year, but he won't be. Just one of I'd say the best point guard in the SEC. But like
I don't know point guard solely because he's more of a shooting guard. He's not really a point guard. He runs the offense fine, but like I don't really consider him a point guard just because of his just because he just shoots all the time. Well, that's why I don't consider Malik Monk a point guard. Yeah. Or I guess De'Aaron Fox is technically a point. I don't know. He's better. He's more of a point guard. I don't know. The point guard on that team is Isaiah Briscoe, though. But
is it Briscoe?
Well, I mean, it's not technically. Yeah. He is the point guard basically because he runs the offense and everything. But I don't know. I mean, J.J. Frazier's good.
Yeah. And, Barnes is, I know he probably couldn't recruit Frazier, but I bet he wishes he had a player of that caliber at, point guard. Because right now their point guards are terrible. Jordan Bone is hurt. He's got bum shoulder and isn't playing well. Lamonte seems like he's hurt. You've got Shimbari out there. Shimbari's doing a fine job. I mean, he's not doing bad. But if he's your only point guard out there, Hubbs had to run the point guard Saturday some. So. Oh, wow.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and when Lamonte came in this year, people were, weren't they? Didn't you say the other day that
Yeah, Barnes said last year that Lamonte, they were 500 last year, and if they had Lamonte, they would have possibly made the NCAA tournament, which is ridiculous. Now that you see his ability, I don't know what he saw in him, honestly, because Barnes isn't very high on a lot of people, so I don't know what he saw in him.
Yeah, Barnes doesn't.
Grant Williams has 30 points, and he tells him he needs to rebound more. So I don't know.
Yeah, Barnes doesn't really pass along much praise, but I don't know. It's just the youth plays a little part in this. I think.
I mean, I don't. Yes and no. Yeah. I guess because those guys have never played this many games before, but at the same time. They have had to play in so many games now that they shouldn't be young. So, I don't know. I don't really blame it on youth that much.
Yeah, Lamonte I don't feel like he's a true point guard. And he's not.
Discussion. He's a shooting guard. He can't take care of the ball. Like, Barnes said it Saturday. He was like, it's not a good feeling sitting on the bench not knowing if your point guard is going to get the ball over half court, which Lamonte dribbles ball right out in front of him, just asking for somebody to take the ball from him, which they did a lot Saturday.
Yeah, and with Lamonte, 8 times out of 10, that ball is going to, end up in the opposing team's hands, with his dribbling skills.
Yeah, I mean, they're not good.
Well, skills, quote unquote skills.
Yeah.
There's a couple times where he'll come out and he'll,
it's
make
not
some
like he turns the ball over every time down the court. I mean, it's not 8 out of 10 times.
It's not. Yeah,
because you're saying that if he's the point guard. he's going to turn the ball over like 20-something times a game. Yeah, that's very false.
That's an exaggeration, but you know.
But no, but he just has trouble taking care of the basketball. I almost said football, basketball.
It's basketball season, thankfully. And then Bone, like you said, he's hurt.
Bone's got I think it is shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know what it is. I think he said shoulder today. I can't remember. Excuse me, but yeah, I mean, and he used to use his speed. He's quick. Like there was one time he blew past whoever was guarding him against South Carolina and just laid him ball right off the glass. And I mean, he needs to do that more.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, with the offensive struggles the Vols have seen the past few games, I think they scored 90 against Missouri, and then the 3 other games, which was Kentucky, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt, they put up less than 60.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really think scoring. I mean, it is kind of right now, but they've put up over 80 points 22 times this season. So
yeah, that's true.
That's pretty impressive. But I mean, right now scoring is kind of an issue, but I don't think it'll last. I mean, there's not a lot of games left, but I don't think it'll last. Like I think it'll pick back up. They just need to get Bowden back, which he was going to the doctor Tuesday to see if he'll be able to play. And just get some guys. I mean, Hubbs, he said today that Hubbs has had his knee drained 3 times in the past 2 weeks. So, and he's fine. He was fine against South Carolina, but I don't know. They'll be okay. They'll score some points here in the last few games and in the SEC tournament.
Mm-hmm. I know one I can't think of the name of the outlet, but one bracket like prediction place had Tennessee the 3 seed in the NIT, I think. The 3 seed, somewhere around that ballpark.
I don't look at the NIT bracketology, to be honest.
Oh, it
doesn't excite me.
It's pretty interesting. Last year when they had George Washington up there as like a 5 seed or something, and they went on to win the whole thing. So that was fun. So NIT tournaments are always just.
I never watched the NIT.
Really?
I don't care. I don't care.
I watched it a little bit last year because I knew Florida and South Carolina were in it, and South Carolina went out and I think won their first 2 and then lost, and Florida made it to the semifinals or something, and. So, I don't know. I mean, it's a little interesting, like in small doses, but the big dance is obviously the one that everybody watches.
When I see NIT on TV, I don't get real excited and click on it like I do for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it depends on the team for me in the NIT.
I guess. Not a lot of good teams are in the NIT. I mean, not a lot of – because, I mean, the good teams are in the NCAA tournament, obviously. But I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, last year there were some high-caliber teams in there, but this year, I don't know. It's just the whole field this year is just kind of down. You've got Gonzaga, who's going to be a 1. Villanova's going to be a 1. Kansas will be a 1.
As a 1, and UCLA is a 1.
Yeah, UCLA.
And then
Kentucky will probably be a 2.
It'll probably be a 3. It depends on what they do here in the last few games in the SEC tournament. I mean, Arizona is basically a lock at 2 now still. They were 1 until UCLA beat them Saturday night. But
I've seen some people say Florida, but Florida is a 2.
I mean, they could win the SEC tournament. They'd easily be a 2. They're the best. They're the best team in the SEC. There's no question about that. I think they're the best team in the SEC. I know Kentucky's technically higher, but they're the best team in the SEC.
Yeah, I'd say Florida actually goes farther than Kentucky in this year's NCAA.
Oh, I 100% agree. I think all the SEC teams that get in probably go farther than Kentucky. Honestly, just because Kentucky's so inconsistent, and if Malik Monk's off, then they're done for.
Unless Vanderbilt makes it,
that's true. Vanderbilt will find a way to lose the play-in game or the first round, like they always do. They never make it out of the first round or the play-in game. Like last year, they got whooped by Wichita State in the play-in game.
Wasn't it? Was it 2009 that they? No, it was later in 2009. I think it was 10 or 11 when they made it, and they were like a 4 seed, and then they lost a 13 seed Murray State.
Yeah. No, that was like a 6 or a 7.
Was it 06?
Yeah, I actually watched the highlights from that today because Murray State hit a buzzer beater win. But yeah, it was like a 6 or a 7.
Yeah, so
it was a long time ago. But still, they're not known for their NCAA tournament prowess.
Yeah, I think Lenardi had them.
They're the last team in.
Yeah,
he has them as the last team in.
Yeah, they were playing Marquette.
I don't know. I just looked at the last 4 in, and and they were on there, which is crazy to me. But I mean, they're playing well. They beat the dog at a Mississippi State. No pun intended there, because Mississippi State's the Bulldogs. Huh? They beat the dog at a Mississippi State Saturday, though, but they beat them by like 30. It was bad. But so I mean, they're playing really well. They beat South Carolina at South Carolina. I'm pretty sure it was at South Carolina. I know they beat them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing good basketball right now, so it'll be interesting to see.
It will be. The SEC tournament will be fun this year. We'll be there in Nashville covering it, so make sure you check that out for updates and stories and all that jazz. But
I'll be eating my weight. I'm gonna eat anything I see.
Oh yeah,
for just no reason, just because it'll be free.
Mm-hmm. I've never been to Memorial, so
it's not a Memorial
or not Memorial.
Bridgestone.
Bridgestone.
Yeah, I've never been to. Well, no, I've been to a couple hockey games.
Yeah,
there.
I've been to Bridgestone a couple times.
I've been to a couple
Memorial.
But yeah, that'd be awful if they had the SEC tournament Memorial.
That would be terrible.
That'd be pretty brutal. The little stinking elementary school gym in there.
Oh God.
Memorial Magic though.
Oh man. But. Yeah, just real quick on the men, and then we'll transition over to the women's side of things. So LSU and Alabama, do you think the Vols
win and toss up? I don't know about Alabama.
Up.
Yeah,
I think the Vols get 2 wins, finish out the regular season, and then 2 wins in the SEC tournament.
It'll be interesting to see if they're actually ready to play. But since you mentioned the women, they beat Sunday. They beat
Mississippi
State,
number 2 in the USA Today
by 20-something.
Yeah,
and so that was an interesting. I watched some of it. I mean, they couldn't miss a 3. It was ridiculous. I don't know how it happens. I don't know about this team. They're weird. They're a 5 seed in the SEC tournament. So that's solid position. I think they're like a 5 or 6 in the NCAA tournament now.
Yeah.
I looked at this the other day, and they were 7 before they beat Mississippi State. Yeah. So they'll jump a little, depending on how well they do in the SEC tournament, which I think they'll do pretty well. I think they're kind of hitting their stride now, probably, and I think they'll be ready to go NCAA tournament time. Probably make Sweet 16 Elite Eight again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even I was on Twitter, and even Dan Flesser, who
he said he didn't understand the team.
He's been covering the team since the 80s.
Yeah, and he's like, I have given up trying to understand this team. It was a pretty funny tweet.
And the team just, they've lost to Alabama. They've lost to, was it Ole Miss? I think it was Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they lose to Vanderbilt.
They lost to Auburn. They lost to
Auburn.
I don't know. No, they beat Vanderbilt by the time.
Yeah, they beat Vanderbilt. But they've lost to those 3 teams who aren't even ranked. And then they've gone out, they've beaten then number 4 South Carolina on the road, then number 5 Notre Dame.
At home, yeah.
At home. Number 10 Stanford. And now, number 3.
You said South Carolina, right? They beat South Carolina at South Carolina. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they beat them at South Carolina. They beat Stanford and who was it? Who did I just say?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame at home. Yeah. And they beat Mississippi State on the road now. And
they don't make any sense to me.
And they also beat Kentucky, who's above them in the standings.
Yeah,
they're 4th in the SEC. So
it's weird. I don't really know much. I mean, we don't cover them, so I don't know. I watch most of the games, but I don't know what to say about them. Really, I have no idea.
I don't either. I know. Did Mercedes get her double?
No, she didn't. She only had like 8 points last night.
She had 8 points.
I don't know. I don't remember. I know Jamie Nard had 30 and Diamond had 22. I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Diamond had 22, and Jamie had that 30-point game, which
career
high. Yeah. Mercedes is sitting at 16 right now, 16 double-doubles on the season. I think she's 2 off from Holtzclaw. So
interesting.
Yeah, for most in a what is she, a junior season?
Yeah,
so that's she's past Candace Parker already.
That's pretty impressive, honestly.
Yeah, and Candace Parker's junior season was. If I'm remembering.
Yeah, I mean, they won a national championship. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so it was good. So, yeah.
So,
Mercedes is doing great.
They just have to be consistent is all.
Yeah.
So, it'll be interesting. But kind of moving on now, I mean, they'll play in the SEC tournament now, and it'll be interesting to have them. But some spring sports. I think softball finally lost a couple games. They lost to Texas and Utah, but they beat Oklahoma, number 4 Oklahoma, which is pretty impressive. I think they went 3-2 that weekend or something.
Yeah,
like that?
they went 3-2.
They're good. They're good. They're a good team. They're a good softball team, and they'll do a lot of things. Yeah. First home tournament, I guess.
Yeah, starts Thursday.
Games, tournament. So that'll be interesting to see. We've got a bunch of coverage on that, and then baseball. Baseball went 4-0.
They did. They're actually.
Well, okay. They do this every year. They do. Last year they beat Central Michigan 21-0 and Grand Canyon 25-3 to start the season, and then they kind of tanked. And they had Nick Senzel and Vincent Jackson on their team that year. So it'll be interesting to see. But they play Norfolk State this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that'll be interesting to say the least.
They've lost, haven't they?
Yeah, they lost one game to Memphis, the second game of the series, but then they won the first and third game, so they won that series. And then all those games were in California this weekend. 3 were in the Tony Gwynn Classic, and then one was just Loyola Marymount, I think in San Diego.
Yeah, and softball, I mean, the only reason they lost to Utah, I mean, Utah's a ranked team. Utah's really good.
Yeah.
And the only reason I think they lost to Texas was because they were just tired.
I mean, they played a bunch of games.
Yeah,
They've already played like 15 games this season.
So
it's
they
ridiculous.
were just worn out, and they only lost 4-2, and they nearly came back and won. So,
Yeah.
like softball right now, and this is just my opinion, you may agree, but softball is the best sport going right now.
Yeah, no, I agree.
On UT's
And they
campus.
always are. They always are.
Yeah.
Them and Lady Vols are always the best teams. And I mean,
yeah.
Lady Vols kind of slacked a little bit, but they still are. I think they're still the number 1 and 2 teams right now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I agree. Track and field wrapped up last weekend.
Yeah, they played.
Christian Coleman is just.
Somebody called him overweight and out of shape, and yet he has the fastest, like 100 and 200 times in the year in the world.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's ridiculous. He's insane.
He broke his own record in the 60-meter run.
Yeah,
I think.
It was ridiculous. He lost in the 200, I think, or no, it wasn't. It was
he
something.
finished second.
Yeah,
he finished second in the 100 meter.
In the 100,
dash,
yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So. I mean, I think they've got NCAA indoors coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, they do. But he's a freak.
He's ridiculous.
Like,
it's insane to watch him.
At the Commodore Invitational earlier this year, he broke his own world record in the 60 meter, and then at the SEC Indoor Championships, he breaks it again. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
So,
but tennis is also
yeah,
going
tennis
strong.
did okay. And they lost to Wake Forest 6-1. They beat the number 1 doubles team, but still, they still got beat pretty bad. Yeah. But women's tennis is doing really good. They're ranked and they're doing pretty solid. They beat like number 33 UNLV the other day. So that's pretty impressive.
20th. Somewhat like 20th.
24th or something.
24th.
I haven't checked.
Yeah. So women's tennis is doing really good. Men's tennis is. I mean, their doubles team is good.
Their doubles teams, yeah.
Teams, I should
Timo
say, yeah.
and Scott Jones and Luis Valero and Jack Shapansky are good.
Yeah.
But kind of wrapping up now. You got a final thought?
Ooh, a final thought.
Do this again.
I'm going to go MLB. I'm going to say that the Braves fight until the last week of the season to get that last wild card spot.
That's ridiculous. All right, I'll go MLB too and say the Cardinals don't make the playoffs. That's not really bold. I don't think they're going to do very well, but we'll see. They won a couple games today.
I think the Braves are. I don't know. Maybe it's just because baseball's
their pitching's
back
a little questionable. Is the only thing.
It's probably just because baseball's back, and I'm just like, I'm back watching baseball and I'm loving it again. And I did this last year where I overhyped the Braves, and I was like, oh, they might,
they were awful last year.
They might do pretty good. 10 games over 500. I could see it, and then they tank and look terrible. So, but I don't know. I like the Braves this year. I think they'll fight for that last wild card spot because there's not really anybody else in the NL fighting. I mean, besides the big teams like. The Cubs and the Nationals and
Nationals, and Dodgers will probably win, or Giants. But anyway.
So, I guess that's it. Next week should be interesting. Lady Vols will have the SEC tournament starting up. We'll probably talk a lot about our brackets, even though they won't be out yet. Selection Sunday.
I was about to say, SEC tournament hadn't even happened for men then. So, no, we won't talk about it. We'll probably talk about it later at a later date.
Yeah, we'll talk about that's right. Because I'm getting my dates mixed up.
Yep.
Selection Sunday is not this Sunday. It's the Sunday after.
Yeah.
So, okay. We will,
we'll talk about the SEC tournament.
For sure.
For both men and women.
Because the women will be probably wrapping up and the men will be starting. So, So thanks for coming out and listening to us. This is Trenton Duffer, and that's Rob Harvey, and we'll see you guys again next week.